right, Professor Port, welcome to my web app. This is called The Daily Grind. I hope you're having a good day and thank you for listening to this podcast. So basically, my web app was inspired by my home life in Eva and just going to the gym almost every night with my friends and family and my brothers. Um, and in doing so, there's a lot of people at our local gym that often come to us looking for advice or like they're impressed with what we're doing or want to know the types of workouts that we're doing, things like that. A lot of the time that either gets annoying or you just simply don't have the time while you're grinding through a workout. So I had this idea, well, why don't I just send them over to a link of a website that I make and it'll basically shoot them the exercises that me and my friends are doing so they can just get on the same train and basically run a program and try and make gains that way. So I'm just going to show you this and we'll run through it. So real quick, the login and password or your login page, this is the index page. It's got the basic login validation. So if you try to log in without a username, it says username does not exist. Same thing for the password. So this is an account I already set up. So invalid password, things like that. We're going to assume for the purpose of this presentation, though, that you don't have an account, and we'll go to the registration page. So this is a registration form. Notice how none of these boxes are checked, none of these check boxes, the radio buttons are checked. So it's assumed that if you happen to fill out all this information and you left these blank, you didn't really know what you wanted to do, um, because otherwise, how would you miss that, right? So, in saying that, if they have a hard time making the decision, we'll make it for them. So if they try to register, the first error message is custom workout inputs will be decided for you if you do not check each box. So basically, I'm setting it up for them. And then these radio buttons are also all sticky, so whatever they input will stay. And the error message also changes because now these boxes were checked, and it's just the input boxes here, these normal text boxes that they have to validate. So also you get your classic error messages with whatever you put here. So if your username is too short, it'll show you that. If your passwords don't match or your passwords are too short, it'll show you that. If this is not an email, it'll show you. So it does all that, and then they're also sticky. Everything except the password is sticky because you don't really want to go be deleting this every time because you can't see the characters if they don't match or things like that. Just normal websites classically don't do that. So let's just do this real quick. So we'll go Daniel. Your first name is Daniel as well, actually. So now you have a web, or you have your own user and login, so you can use this now. The password's going to be 12345 6, and then 12345 6. I hope that you would use this. That'd be pretty cool, actually. Um, and we'll go. I want to get more aesthetic. I'm an inexperienced workout person. I'm not. I'm pretty new to the gym, and then my last workout was a push, right? So this is assuming like, hey, Ryan told me to go here. What was the last workout I did? I hit a chest workout today, so I'll put that as my last workout. Oh, what's invalid about this? Invalid email address. There you go. So caught me. So just input these again. Now, if everything is valid, it'll shoot you over to your new workout. And so I input that in the beginning. I input that my last workout was a push workout, right? So 0 equals push, 1 equals pull, 2 equals legs. So in that sequence, because my last was a push workout, this new workout generated will be a pull workout. So that's anything related to back or biceps, things like that. So that's why you see the deadlifts, the pull-ups, seated row, things like that. And all of my workouts are a 5 set. That's usually what we do is 5 different exercises throughout the day. So it'll generate that here for you with the actual exercise and then the sets and reps. It also input or show you your goals and then the experience level that you picked. So I picked aesthetic and I'm a newbie to the gym, so I had inexperience, which translates to novice. Now every time you log in, which it assumes you'll probably log in about once a day unless you're working out multiple times a day. Every time you log in, there's going to be a new workout generated for you. So we don't have to go back to the login page. We could, but to save time, we'll just refresh it to simulate you logging in again. And you see that not only does your last workout change, but the workout in general changes. So as you see, it went from push to now it's pull at 1, and it gives you a legs workout because now your last workout was a pull. So things like that. If you wanted to change your goal level or your experience level, you just simply edit your goals, and this will change it from the back end. So we had aesthetic and experienced before, I believe. So we're going to change it to stronger and inexperienced, and you'll see that the workout actually changes. So now, because you're getting stronger, you're going to do things like 1 rep maxes and stuff like that. So um, all these workouts are a little different. And then you can see right here that your goal changed from stronger, and you're still a novice because we put inexperienced, but let's just put experienced here, still stronger, and now it's advanced instead of novice. Going back to the editing your info from the backend side, though, I made it so that you have to check both of these boxes. It kind of threw a lot of errors, and if you only checked one, and it kind of doesn't make sense to only check one. Um, so, and because the page is really simple, I just put that check both boxes to continue, so I didn't have to throw an error message because it seemed pretty obvious. The page is so simple that you have to be kind of silly not to see this. So if you only put in one, let's go back to it. If you only input one, it won't let you leave. And if you don't input anything, it also won't let you leave. It just reloads the page constantly. So yeah, you got to input both to go, or you can return to login page. So and pretty much any point except the registration page, because there's no need to go back to login. Yeah, so well, that is basically my website, and I'll show you how I generated the workouts. It's kind of noteworthy, I guess. I was actually figuring it out with you in the mini class sessions. So let's go to server real quick. I actually ended up using nested if statements. So I generated all nested arrays. I'm sorry. I generated all these workouts, each one. So like AN means it aesthetic novice push workout. So SN would be stronger novice push workout. And basically, I created all of these workouts that are easily accessible, and it's also easy to expand the number and availability of workouts. All I'd have to do is create another variable and put that into the dynamic array with the workouts in it, and then access them through the nested array logic, things like that, that I'll show you afterward. So basically, this is how I created all the workouts, and then this is the logic here for it to access them. So um, the inputs are usually whether you want to be stronger, more aesthetic, or you're advanced or novice, and then your last workout, which is actually indicated by 0, 1, or 2. So it's push, pull, or legs for 0, 1, or 2. So if you picked stronger, pick novice, and pick 0, it would use the nested arrays to access. You go to goal array, which is right here, this one, and then at 0, which is stronger array, and then it kicks over to the next one, this 0. So in stronger array 0 is also stronger novice array, and then it goes and finds in stronger novice array, what is it? And you hit 0 again, or if you based off your input, it was 0 again. So inside the strongest and novice array, it's going to be the SN push, so stronger novice push, and it gives this workout here. So basically, I ran the logic for all of those, and it just worked really well in my mind. There's a lot of different ways that I've tried, and this one just seemed like the most streamlined and easiest to scale up. So I ran about it this way. It seemed really simple, and I was proud of it, so I left it as is. As for changing the workout every day, I actually used, um, where is it down here? I believe it's right here. Yeah, so this portion. So you basically take the array of the exercise array, which is just 0, 1, and 2 basically, and every time you log in, you if it's not the length of the array, you add one to it, which is actually changing the userdata.json file and changes these little inputs right here. So if it's not at the length of the array, which is 2, then you'll add one. So if you're at 0, it'll go to 1. If you're at 1, it goes to 2. But if you're at the length, you reroute back to 0. So it's basically a never-ending loop. And then that gets all pushed into userdata.reg. And then also for here, one of my biggest concerns was basically stylizing the JavaScript, or as it gets sent to the client side, like all the data that gets sent through it. And so I did multiple ways of actually stylizing the HTML, and I just kept them here for reference, the 2 different ways. The first was as variables and just having each little section added to a set of variables or to the same variable basically, and then at the end response dot sending that whole variable. This seemed like it seemed like a really good idea at the time, and it's just easy to like, okay, I want to add one here, so I'll just put another thing there, things like that. But I also did it in a different way, um, where I just hard coded or just put the HTML directly into the response.send. So this also worked. I think I ended up liking this one easier because it's just basically rewriting an HTML style page inside the server. Um, but this works as well and can have its own purposes. And at the end, you just have to send the variable. So yeah, that's my website, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I hope I do well on this, and I hope you have a happy holiday and Merry Christmas.